Hello there! Oh my goodness. Nervous System Mastery Part 2. Let's dive in right away. I'm so excited to get to talk to you. I feel like this week has been so activating on so many levels. I've just shared something in my community and also sent out a newsletter with a topic that feels really true to my heart and important. And I also feel like this is the exact piece that I want to bring into this live stream, because I feel that there is a difference between knowing and knowing, right? And that, expansion piece, that feeling of, oh yeah, I know, but then, oh, I definitely know. And I've had my fair share on this. So this is actually for those of you who are advanced students of life. Like, this is the place where I feel I love to have conversations with you the most, because it's literally, like, the women who are in my spaces are so intelligent. Like, they have studied, they hold space for people. They sometimes as scholars, they just have a lot going on in their life. Like, they have high stakes. They are married, they have children, they have positions in companies that are very highly ranked. The women in my field tend to be trailblazers. Like, they tend to have that capacity to like, cream out a lot of life. And so I feel like there is this thing that keeps sort of taking place in these women's lives specifically, which is all connected to working very hard and, putting in so much of their life force and putting in so much of their commitment and devotion to really leaning into life, at a high level, where, they have a lot of responsibility, they have a lot of things to manage, they have a lot of, money to circulate. They basically have this wide range of life. And so this scenario keeps happening for these women, which is they go through these chapters of life where they put in so much effort, right? They truly wear themselves out, which then of course yields to incredible and phenomenal results. And so there is a place where this type of woman will come to, where she will have experienced so much success and, even led herself into finally releasing toxic relationships, releasing, professional lifestyles that do not match her highest frequency and intention and capacity. And she knows that. And so she leads herself to that place where it literally feels like heaven, right? It literally feels like, oh my goodness, I've made it. How did I get here? This is incredible. And that is the place where, in that life, even though she's experiencing that capacity to hold so much energy, right? And such a high amount of intensity, where she knows, she created that, right? Like, that's the power. Like, she leveraged a lot of power in her life, but then it doesn't feel good. But then she has something happen to her body, or there are things that start showing up that literally feel like this icky old self kind of life coming through. And this is the place that I really want to speak into, because it's so easy for this type of woman to then go into self-denigrating stuff, beating herself up, questioning her capacity, experiencing conflicts with people that actually she should be good with, right? And so she starts to question her own power, or she starts to go into this experience of I'm just not good enough, right? Or the people around me are just not good enough. And I truly get this because I've been there, right? Like last year I was going through a major health crisis. Meanwhile, in business, we crossed the 6-figure mark. Meanwhile, I was in a blooming relationship. Meanwhile, literally everything was coming and clicking into place. And I'm like, what is happening here? Why can't I just enjoy this, right? Why do I have to now, deal with this? And it's so interesting because this is the exact place that I led so many women through, that, this chapter of life that then starts to have this kind of strange smell of decay and things are falling apart, and it just, it's like you're in paradise and someone's pulling the rug under your feet. It's so easy to, spiral down into that sensation that you've done all of the work, right? And why can't I just be at peace? And I coined this word many, many years ago. And I feel like I'm so happy that I coined it, watching other people's lives and, coaching women through this portal, because women literally would sign up to come and work with me. Sometimes they wouldn't even know why. And then, weeks, months down the line, things started to happen and they were like, that's why, right? As a preparation phase of sorts, to be able to have someone holding her while she was going to go through that experience. So I've noticed that, and there's this term that I coined, which is post-traumatic success disorder. And I've seen this happen, right, with women coming into amazing relationships and then, beginning to sabotage it, or, having an amazing career and all of a sudden starting to have conflict, with their managers or their work colleagues. So I've seen this, in multiple spins you can possibly imagine. And so I have also lived through that experience. And one of the things that I know now, and that I see over and over and over again, is that this doesn't mean anything about the capacity that you have to hold more. This is literally you experiencing, this is the evidence that you are in this new version of a reality, and that all of these things happening basically mean that you're simply having a hangover to your success. And now you get to truly look at the pieces that you were not able to feel before because you were running for survival and you were just going through the motions of life. And so this is a place where it isn't about changing or fixing anything. This is about letting good be good. This is about allowing yourself to let good be good. And so I feel like this is something that we kind of skip on. And this is also the place where so many women start to then spiral and, start reading another book. And, so it's their nervous system that's literally ready to shed things they have not enabled themselves to feel beforehand. And I feel like this is a very dicey conversation. It's so much more complex than this, but I feel that this is the exact place where we need to learn something else. that needs to come through the mystery, that needs to come through the unknown. And our body, because it's been bracing most of the time, right, priorly to this, right, because we're just going through the motions. We're in, like, let's face it, this is a survival game, okay? So we find our ways to cope and to strategize in order to survive and belong, especially as women, we want to belong emotionally as well. So we have a whole scenario of things that are playing out for us. But this is literally about learning to be in your power and hold higher levels of power, and being capable of resensitizing your range so that you can hold the amazing and you can hold the decay almost all at the same time. You can hold the destruction all at the same time. And you start to make informed decisions, not immediately, but this is literally about allowing time and space to sort of run through so that things actually, that, you know, because I feel like our bodies, like we have 5 different bodies, not physical bodies, but we have like the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, and then the cosmic body. And sometimes our bodies don't run in sync. So this is about allowing all of these bodies to calibrate. And sometimes in life, right, our life starts to mirror that evolved experience, but our actual body, often the physiological body, is the last piece to sort of catch up, right? And so this experience of letting good be good literally is about you being able and capable and lucid, right? Because this is really an awareness piece. And so as I was moving through these thresholds last year, when, you know, super high stakes on so many levels, and then this experience of crushing sensations in my body, all of that was a part of this evolved version of me who was learning how to let good be good without starting to turn in on herself and going down the rabbit hole that there's something wrong with her and that she needs more trauma healing and she needs to go see a psychotherapist and she needs to go see, 300 other books. Because this isn't about that, right? That level of mastery was for me personally, was about learning how to hold the goodness and allow that almost to burn down my nervous system that was so used to running for cover. And so I feel that there's this experience to nervous system mastery where it isn't about running anymore. It's about understanding that your body still wants to run and still wants to do all of the things, right? But your lucidity is seeing through all of that and is seeing through that capacity that you get to hold that and then some, right? And so with that vulnerability, what also came through was that I finally was able to feel, right? Like last remnants of pain and last remnants of traumatic residue from my previous relationship experiences, where I was able to feel almost a bittersweet grief about, having big dreams to pull me out of my survival life. Because once your dreams come true, there's a grief that takes place too, right? Because it's like, so what am I going to dream now? Like all my dreams came true. Like what am I going to do now? Like what? I can just be here and I don't need to have more dreams and I don't need to have more things to run for and I don't need to have more things that I want to accomplish. Nope. You can just be in peace now. And so that is the sensation of having the rug removed under your feet. It's not that there's no more dreams to be had. It's just you were so used to having something to live towards that all of a sudden when peace comes in, it feels like it's alien. And that's what took place, is that I needed to allow my body to become accustomed, right, to actually being at peace, right, and not needing to sign another client, and not needing to, create more content, and not needing to, dream of a better man, and not like all of that. I had it all. Right? Now it was about me leaning into enjoyment and leaning into that capacity to truly flow with what life has to offer. And when I started to have that, clicking into place and realizing, because I already knew like this was going to come, like that wave was going to come and hit me hard, because I have had a very intense life before that. But this was actually about feeling it, allowing myself to actually feel, right? In the form of feeling like I was going crazy, in the form of feeling like this can't possibly be it, right? In the form of, sometimes I actually felt that I was burnt out, but I don't think I was burnt out at all. I feel like what it was is just my body was sinking to peace. My body was sinking to letting good be good. My body was sinking to, okay, so what is actually my preference? What is it that I really desire? What is it that I really want here? And so strange things started to happen, right? I started to feel like I wanted to eat meat again after 9 years of being vegetarian and even vegan for a certain time. I felt like, actually, I want to have, a job where I can just lean into and, see work colleagues and just go to work and, have a mundane life. I started to notice that I didn't want to travel far away anymore and, go on planes and, be on planes all the time. Like, I just wanted to go on short trips where I could, get there by train or by public transport, like buses or even walking. And all of these things just made me realize that I was getting accustomed to a peaceful, tranquil life. I was getting accustomed to not having to run far away, right? And excuse me. So it feels like there's this level of mastery that is not talked about a lot, where we actually get to enjoy the mundane life and still be freaking amazing and worthy of all things that are good. And so I also came to realize in that chapter of my life that even though I would have never, ever, ever admitted that, I started to come to the realization that I did have, some kind of validation on taming my good girl by achieving amazing, phenomenal things. And it's crazy to me now to see that, because I did achieve all of these things and they didn't contribute. I mean, of course they contributed to me as a person, but they didn't contribute to the thing that I thought it was going to get me. And I feel like that's actually what the pain was about the most, was to realize that, working so hard and putting so many hours on the line and, was just not going to cut it for my next life chapter. Like, that was good in the chapter where I was in. It wasn't going to be the thing that would go into my next life chapter. And it felt devastating. And I didn't want to see it for what it really was. And so this is when I started to pull back all of my programs as well, and, retrieve and, completing coaching packages with clients because I felt that I couldn't hold those with integrity anymore at the level where I was, because I had quantum leaped into such a place that, you know, had you told me even like 2 years ago, I'd be like, no, that's impossible. And so here I am, and I've pulled, you know, everything back, and I'm creating everything from scratch, and I'm moving everything from a place of actual alignment, which is also why I created the method the way that I created it, which is also why, you know, this Lionsgate portal program that I'm having is going to just have a different energy to it. And I'm so excited for it, because I feel like these are the first programs I'm actually creating from this new level of me, and this new level of actually being at peace, and actually, you know, leading life in a way where I get to have the enjoyment that I truly want. So, yeah, I feel complete with today. So if you would like to join us in this Lionsgate portal, if you feel that there's a calling in you too, you're welcome to come into the journey. We have 2 beautiful women journeying at the moment. If you would like to come into the method, you also get the Lionsgate portal included with that. And if you're just good, then that's amazing. Like, let good be good. Maybe this is your life chapter where you're leaning into allowing yourself to just be with yourself for a while until you're ready to move on to the next piece. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this served, even if at least just one person on the planet. And I can't wait to see you next week. I'll be on at 4 p.m. CET. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then. So much love. Bye.